Hello. Hey, Sailing. How are you? Um, was it showing Iron Leaf Potter? I was hosting her, and then I had a hard time getting my own stream to show. I'm okay. Tired too. I threaded a loom today at the Weaver's Cabin, and have a feeling I'm going to be sore tomorrow. But other than that, just tired. And tired of being tired, you know? But I got some pretty stuff that as soon as I finish this bobbin, we're going to start this lovely stuff that I got today at the yarn shop. Oh, and it was hard because there were other pretty colors too. So I had to make a choice. And I think this is it 4 ounces? It's big. And it was kind of expensive. 4 ounces. 24 buckaroonies for 4 ounces. But I had credit at the yarn shop. So I tend to splurge on things that I would otherwise probably think were kind of on the expensive side when I have credit at the yarn shop. I knew she had just gotten some sock yarn in, and ooh, this is really soft. And so I was looking for holiday theme colorways, because I'm doing that festive box of socks knit along with Birding Mom. And I wasn't seeing anything that screamed holidays at me. But so I started looking at the tags, and this one is Krampus. So Krampus is for Christmas, so that'll be a holiday pair of socks. So I'll start those when I finish my Nightmare Before Christmas socks, which will probably be this weekend at work. So I'll probably start these this weekend at work. No, the Nightmare Before Christmas is just a colorway I dyed based on the colors from the scene where Jack Skellington is standing up on the hill and the moon is behind him. So it's shades of purple and then like a harvesty yellow. I don't have them nearby. But if you saw me working on some purple socks recently, that would have been them. The festive box of socks is, I forget who somebody who does a podcast that I've seen a couple of times and Birding Mom watches regularly, and she's been working for several years on what she called a festive box of socks. And the idea is to have to knit a pair of socks for every day of Advent, a pair for Christmas, and then a scrappy pair from all the leftovers for Boxing Day. And I have not officially joined the knit along, but I'm just sort of playing along with Birding Mom while she's doing it, and we'll decide at some point whether to officially join or not. But and there aren't any hard and fast rules. It doesn't have to be Christmas. It can be whatever winter holidays or festivities a person is interested in. So I'll probably do some that are Christmas and some that are winter solstice and some that are Yule and some that are just, winter. Just, whatever floats my boat at the moment. So I figure it will take me a number of years to knit all those socks. But it sounded like fun. But the Nightmare Before, it is. It could be the rest of my life. The socks that I'm doing are all ankle socks. So I'm just doing 1.5 inches or 2 inches of ribbing, and then just the foot of the sock. So they're kind of quick. So it won't take me as long as it would if I was making, regular socks with like a 7-inch cuff or whatever, or leg. Now see, I should have finished this white yarn this afternoon after I got home from the cabin, and then I could have just launched right into the new stuff. But no. So now I have to finish this first. Yeah, and I don't participate in a lot of, knit alongs or whatever alongs because I often get distracted before the end. But it just sounded like fun. Hey, birding mom. I found at the yarn shop today some holiday yarn. Leading Men Fiber Arts Krampus. So that'll be, I was going to say my first official holiday sock, but Nightmare Before Christmas is my first official. But this is my first one that I didn't dye myself. But that was the only Christmassy holiday, winter holiday-ish sock yarn I found. And how are you tonight, ma'am? Oh, I haven't looked at Discord yet. Where'd it go? Where's the? There it is. Oh. Hmm. So have you decided, are you gonna do it the way it's written, or are you gonna put the stockinette on or the knit side on the outside? I like it. I think I like it. Birding Mom says, yeah, everyone is doing fall colorways now. That's for sure. There were lots of fall colorways. And she says, I'm doing good, was surprisingly productive for thinking I had done nothing all day. My productivity today was I got a text before I went to the cabin asking if I was going to the Weaver's cabin today and would I put a warp on one of the looms for make and take this weekend. And she said, if you can just get it threaded, I can finish. So I wound a warp and I slayed it through the reed and I threaded it through the heddles. And somebody else can crank that baby on. And as it is, I think I'm going to be sore tomorrow. That's a long time. When I warp at home, when I warp looms at home, I get up and take lots of breaks and stretches, and I can't do that when I'm on a time constraint. Birding Mom says, I'm doing it as written. I can do something else in it if I want something in stockinette. Well, that's true. And their prices are very reasonable. Did you get that from, what is it, Dyer Supplier? I want this white roving to be done so I can start the new one. because it's pretty. Hey, veggie. Burning Mom said, no, I ordered it in late February from a Nashville dyer who was hit by the tornado. Oh. Boy, that seems like so long ago. Like, the February and March of this year feel like they were like years ago. Boy, yeah, I really don't know what I was doing when I divided this pound of roving up into quarters, supposedly, because they came out all different sizes. Not a single one of them 4 ounces. Burning Mom says 2020 time is weird, alternating fast with lasting for a decade. That's for sure. Well, in the moment, it seems like it's forever. But then, I look back and it was like, oh, yeah, that was only 2 months ago. Somebody's playing with temporal mechanics. So it's the longest and at the same time the shortest year of our lives. Burning Mom says, certainly the collective weirdest. That's for sure. And don't anybody dare 2021 about anything because, she's just going to say, here, hold my beer. And when I saw another mostly full-time fiber person saying that some of her big shows for next year, for well into next year, have already canceled. So people aren't just aren't trusting, that things are gonna settle out anytime soon. You know what, I'm just sitting here thinking, I've kind of lost track of the protests. It's been going on for so long that it just has become, like the new normal. And I'm not even paying attention anymore. I don't like when scary things become the new normal. Birdie Mom said they're having a fiber and sewing show in Virginia. Yeah, it was somebody who's going to be vending there. 39 vendors are putting it together and trying to drum up business, as one of Facebook comments said. Yeah. I wonder if that's... Birdie Mom says, sounds like a super spreader to me. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to... The post I saw, the person was saying that while she's high risk herself for COVID, she felt like this should be able to be less risk than going to the grocery store. I don't think no. I'm not going to anything like that. I'm not even going to the monthly spin-ins that I love so much. Train. Birdie Mom said no mentions of masks or social distance, etc. But yeah, come see things in person. Train. Is anybody coming up with anybody keeping up with the Tour de France? Are they still riding, or have we gotten to the end of this thing yet? How much longer do I have to spin every day? Because, normally I would spin some every day, and now I'm being told I should spin every day, and I'm feeling defiant. I want to knit something. And now I have all this undyed hand spun that I need to dye. Ends on the 20th. Okay. So the 20th is Sunday. So then in theory, when I come back Sunday night, I could knit. I need to work on kid mittens. My inventory of kid mittens is non-existent. Birding Mom says, keep going, cracks that whip. Alrighty, go take care of those kitties. We'll see you when you get back. Sailing says, all I have been here for is the spinning. Well, then you've been here sometime within the last 3 weeks. Because I think that's how long it's been going on. Because before that, I was knitting all the socks and knitting redemptions. And what redemptions are is that when you're in here, when you're hanging out, you earn loyalty points through Streamlabs, and you earn additional point, or you earn points more quickly if you chat, and you get a lump of extra points when you follow and if you subscribe. And like Veggie said, if you type !fluffs in chat, Streamlabs will tell you how many fluffs you have. And two of the things that you can trade your fluffs for, the only two things right at this minute, are you can trade fluffs to choose the color for an adult knitted hat that will be donated to charity, to some probably homeless person in my region, or to pick the color and size of a pair of kids mittens that will be donated somewhere in my region. So that's what the redemption knitting is all about. So we were working on quite a bit of that. I think I still am working on a list. That there was like one night when a ton of people all traded in fluffs for redemption knitting. yes, Veggie, you added a kid set, and but I didn't have much yarn left at that point, but I have more yarn now. So when we get to that, there will be colors for you to choose from. And Sailing says, I'm unsure how to redeem something. It tells me I have 0 points. But yeah, it said that you have 2,270 fluffs. I don't remember what the amounts are that you need to redeem things, though. Oh, right. Yeah, you have to be logged in. Yes, Streamlabs is separate from Twitch. And then there's also Stream Elements, which is also separate from Twitch. Hey, Bauman Maid, how are you? Veggie said you can redeem without being logged in if you use the command, I believe. Okay, I'm trying to hurry up and finish this ball of white stuff so I can spin this pile of yumminess. This is from Mountain Colors Incorporated. 80% Targhee, 10% bamboo, and 10% silk in the colorway Loganberry. And it's something new that my local yarn shop just got in, and there were all the pretty colors. It was hard to choose, but it was a little too expensive to go hog wild and pick like 3 of them. Bama Maid said, I'm tired. I'm fed up to here with Tiny. I just need to make it to Sunday when I can get out of the house with no kids. Do you have relatives living nearby? Could she maybe go spend the day with cousins or something? Bama Maid said, pretty. And Sunday's close, only a few more days. Where do you get to go on Sunday without kids? Or is it a secret? Bama Maid said, the only thing about sending her to spend time with cousins is it adds another kid to my sister-in-law's boat, and she's often in the same mindset as me. Oh, man. Bama Maid said, I get to go grocery shopping. Nothing wild, but it's without kids, so I don't care. You know, I remember those days. Going grocery shopping shouldn't be self-care, but sometimes it just is. Veggie said, it's night and day difference shopping with kids. I feel ya. Bama Maid said, I like shopping with no kids, specifically for groceries, but I babysat for my neighbors once. Had a total of 7 kids running through the house. Only one was mine. They got back and said they forgot half the stuff because the kids weren't throwing random shit in the cart in the basket. That's hilarious. You know, when I was a kid, and my mom would shop at the commissary on the base, and you had to have a military ID to get in. You couldn't have a military ID until you were 10 years old. So kids younger than 10 couldn't go in. So you had to either find somewhere to leave your kids, or they would have they called a nursery, but they had like an adult employee, and you just dumped your kid or kids in there while you went into the to do your shopping. And, that must have been, because, that was in the day of stay-at-home moms, where everybody was a stay-at-home mom. And that must have been just divine, just dump your kid in the nursery and go do your shopping. And for us, it was fun because, there was usually, games were going on and things. There were activities. So I guess nowadays we'd call that drop-in childcare. And it was free because, military. Mama Maid said, sounds like IKEA. Don't sumo your kid for up to 45 minutes and go wander. But maybe don't sumo your kids. I don't know. A lot of kids might like that. There's a place at IKEA to dump your kids. Veggie said my nephews would sumo. Yeah, I think all of my nephews would have too. I don't think I've ever been to IKEA with children. To be honest, I just assume go to IKEA all by myself. And then take a nice long break and sit in the cafeteria and eat veggie balls. Because I can't have the lovely meatballs. But the veggie balls are gluten-free and they're yummy too. Veggie said, heck, they would sumo each other. Mama Maid said, the one time we've done the IKEA kid thing, Tiny bitched because she loves walking through IKEA. Burning Mom said, one of my first jobs was at Lionel Toy World over Christmas. It was in the same parking lot as Toys R Us. You would not believe the number of parents that would drop their kids in one and go toy shopping in the other. It was a mess. Wow. Because people are inconsiderate jerks. Mama Maid said, but I honestly hate it because she has to test everything. Mama Maid said, that toy job sounds like torture. Any kind of drop-in childcare job is torture. I mean, it can be lovely, or it can be a nightmare. It just depends on the group of kids you have at any given time. Burning Mom said it was the worst job I've ever had, and I've worked for some assholes. Yeah, I hear ya. Veggie said, oh, I see. Don't read the thing. Oh, Veggie said, here we are talking about my balls again. No, the IKEA veggie balls, not your veggie balls. Do you even have veggie balls? Never mind, that's not any of my business. But my maid said food in ball form is usually amazing. Yeah, the housemate makes these. He calls them. Well, they're Mexican meatballs that he. It's one of the few Mexican things his girlfriend actually cooks, and he started making them at home. He calls them abadingas. He said that's not how she pronounces it, so I have no idea. But they're basically what I would call a porcupine meatball. They've got rice in them instead of breadcrumbs or cracker crumbs or whatever, and they're in a tomato sauce. And he makes them ginormous. It's like, you just put a big old meat bowl in your bowl with some sauce. The only difference from the way I would make porcupine meatballs is that it's got lemon juice in it and probably cilantro. But yeah, we've been talking about those lately. Somebody in my house needs to make meatballs. Veggie said, I make stuff and things with them in random fibers. Bowman Maid said, oh my God. Oh, you know how hard it is to know jokes, but none of them are appropriate for children? Yes. Burning Mom said, if you can stab it with a toothpick, the food is probably pretty good. Around here, every potluck you ever go to, someone will have made meatballs in this barbecue sauce that's got like a jar of grape jelly melted into it. I just thought that was the weirdest thing I ever heard of, but they're very popular around these parts. I don't know if that's a thing in other places or if that's... Pennsylvania has a fair number of Pennsylvania things. Bauman Maid said, oldest had her class meeting today before lunch, and if they don't have questions about classwork, they tell riddles and jokes. First, the dad jokes are strong. Second, I don't know nearly enough good dad jokes. All my jokes are horribly dirty. Veggie says, I make the grape jelly sausage and meatballs. So it's not just a Pennsylvania thing then. Now, see, when I lived in Michigan, there's this thing in the breakfast food meat section of the store called Smoky Links. And they're about that long. And they're these little smoked sausages, and you fry them up or heat them through or whatever and have them with breakfast. Well, here they don't have those. They have little Smokies or Lil, L-I-L Smokies that are about this. They're the same thing, but they're about this long. And people dump them in a pan with barbecue sauce and heat them up and serve them with a toothpick. And I'm like, what? Are you supposed to eat those for breakfast? Shouldn't they be bigger? Veggie said, I used to make them for D&D groups. Everyone loved my sausages and balls. You are not alone. Ha 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 ha. Bauman Maid said, I've seen the grape jelly thing and did the picky kid face and went for almost anything else. Birding Mom said, no, it's not just PA. I have an awesome shrimp dip, but it serves about 100 and takes a whole bottle of ketchup. Yeah, a lot of the Pennsylvania things are just weird, for somebody from out of state. One Pennsylvania thing I think is my first thought was, but I've grown to respect it, is the cookie table at weddings. It's like all of the aunts and cousins bring homemade cookies. And there is a table with all these trays of cookies and then there are like little boxes provided, and the guests can take, fill up their little box with homemade cookies to take home. And some of them are really good. Kind of Pennsylvania cookies that I hadn't had before. Birding Mom said, I used to make it for Super Bowl parties. You know, the only reason I have ever gone to Super Bowl parties is for the food and the commercials. The food and the commercials. I don't care about the game so much. Although there were a couple of years when the Steelers were doing, or the Stillers, as they say here, were doing very well. And back when Ben Roethlisberger was still young and doing great before he kind of turned into an asshole. Obama Maid said, but in my defense, I don't like sweet with meat. The biggest crime against carnivores is the glazed fruity ham. Yeah, the child the other night made salmon fillets, and she put like a sweet and spicy Asian sauce of some kind that my husband had in the refrigerator. Put that on it, and it was pretty good. But you know, sweet. I've had sweet stuff on salmon before. But the housemate wasn't quite sure what to make. He's like, I'm not used to sweet stuff on my fish. Veggie said, I use Sweet Baby Ray's chili sauce and grape jelly. Throw in Smokies and meatballs. I would try it. The only problem with meatballs is they usually have something in them that I can't have. Veggie said, ooh, ham. Birdie Mom said, I'm down for the cookie table. I'm going to crash a wedding next time I'm in PA. And she says, football is great social knitting. We hosted a wedding at the gallery maybe 2 years ago. It was a smallish wedding. I think they only had 30 or 40 people. And the couple was friends of my boss. And actually the groom's mother was my boss's best friend ever since high school, and they're still friends. And there were so many cookies, we had to have 2 cookie tables. It was amazing. It's like, there's only like 30 people, and we had like millions and millions of cookies. Yeah, I like that. Football is great social knitting. Obama Maid said the cranberries don't touch the turkey either. I don't mind if my cranberries touch my turkey, and I don't mind if it touches my mashed potatoes either. But I love cranberries, and I buy the whole berries and I make my own cranberry sauce. I don't eat the stuff out of a can. Obama Maid said, and this might be a crime against Texas, but I don't like sweet barbecue sauces. In fact, if your barbecue needs a sauce like that, you cooked it wrong. Yeah, I'm not big on barbecue sauce. I don't really do ketchup either. Ketchup is bleh. Ketchup and mustard are the devil. They're right up there with Miracle Whip. They're not fit for human consumption. Of course, when I was a kid, I liked ketchup every bit as much as the next kid. But I think it might be the vinegary, you know, they both got vinegar in them. Veggie said, I don't think all barbecue has to be sweet, but if you put sauce on your steak, I will disown you. Nope, nothing on my steak except salt and maybe some melted butter. Birdie Mom says, LOL, I love the sweet stuff, but I actually serve most things with sauce on the side so you can do your own. Boy, I have a whistle today, don't I? My S's are very sibilant. Obama Maid said the meat needs to stand on its own. That's right. With salt. Meat needs salt. Not a ton of things need salt for me. Meat, particularly beef, needs salt. Eggs need salt, especially hard-boiled eggs. And what's the other thing? There's something else that needs salt. Meat, eggs, and you know what? I'll remember it when I'm like in bed trying to fall asleep. I'll remember what the third thing is. Oh, tomatoes. Raw tomatoes need salt. Mama made said sauces for salad, and that's not sweet either. Nope, I don't like sweet dressing on my salad. Veggie said A1 is an abomination. You know, I ate that kind of stuff when I was a kid. You know, I always put steak sauce on my steak. I think our steaks were always overcooked when I was a kid. I eat my steaks nearly raw now. Birding Mom said, I make an exception for homemade ketchup. My friend used to make it, and it's fabulous. The stuff we get in the stores is plastic. You know, I've wondered, because I've thought about making ketchup, and wondered if I would like that better. Mama Maid said, I was today years old when I found out A1 is British. And then she says, everything needs salt, even watermelon. When I was a kid, we always put salt on our watermelon and cantaloupe and stuff. And then as an adult, I decided I liked my watermelon better without. Veggie said, oh my God, I am today years old too. Mama Maid said, I will admit to putting A1 on a baked potato though. But I was drunk and I don't recall it being horrible. Okay, this bobbin is getting really full, and I still have a little pile of fluff here. Okay, I'm going to finish this handful, and then we're going to switch bobbins and move on to the pretty stuff because I'm getting tired of looking at white yarn. Veggie says, British, everything makes sense now. I was looking to see if boy, there aren't very many. There's usually a long list of bots in, I'll look on this side. Nope, same. I was looking to see if Dork was here because I was going to ask her what her electric wheel is. I think she might have said it's an Ashford, but I couldn't remember because I was watching one of her VODs earlier today, and boy, that thing goes fast. I'm going to have to point the camera at my e-spinner and see if mine looks like it's going that fast. Okay, let's see if I missed anything. Birding Mom said use an old recipe like from the 50s or earlier. Yeah, I have a lot of canning books from like the 40s and 50s and 60s. It will have a lot of sugar, but make it the one time that way and then dial back. It's amazing. I am not what you would call a rebel canner. I don't open kettle can my tomato juice just because that's the way my grandma did it. You know, my grandma did it that way, but there were failures. Some of it went bad. You know, I pressure can things that are supposed to be pressure canned. But there are things that I will can that are not approved recipes because I understand a lot of, well, I used to hang out on a canning group that had a lot of like food scientists on it, and you know, so we would pick their brains about, you know, because if you look up something on on the, what's it called, National Center for Home Food Preservation or whatever site. There are things that they don't recommend, but they don't tell you whether it's a safety issue, a texture issue, food quality, palatability, or, to let us make our own choices. They just recommend or they don't recommend. And there are a lot of things they don't recommend just because they don't have the time or the funding to test the recipe. So, pick the brains of the food scientists. So there are things I will can that the hardcore, safety canners won't, they'd have a heart attack. But, so I am willing, because there are a lot of people who won't, if it's not in the most recent Ball Blue Book, they won't, or specifically on the one of the agricultural extension websites, they won't can it. So, it's like you got to throw away all your Ball Blue books previous to the most recent one. Well, I don't do that. I still use some of those recipes, but I understand that some of them are going to maybe be weird. And some of them I maybe won't keep on the shelf for 5 years. I'll use them up in a couple of months or whatever. So anyway, that's another one of my rants. But don't do as I do, like do your own research and do what you're comfortable with. And by all means, don't give yourself or your family botulism, because that shit's bad and you'll probably die. But yeah, I could probably easily put my hands on an old ketchup recipe. And I don't have any tomatoes to can this year because, I didn't plant any. And the neighbor, a couple of houses down, sometimes if he has extra tomatoes, he'll bring me 5-gallon buckets full. This year I got a 5-gallon bucket of green beans. It's like, oh man, we don't eat that many. I'm going to have green beans for a long time. Speaking of keeping things on the shelf for 5 years, going to have green beans for a long time. Unless I get in a mood and eat a lot of them. Mama Maid said, so I've been watching the Lost in the Pond videos on YouTube most of today because he makes me laugh. Yeah, and laughing is good. It releases endorphins and helps prevent us from killing our children. Mama Maid said, best thing I heard him say today was, if you stretched the Grand Canyon out in a straight line, none of us would survive the quake. That's good. Mama Maid said it's an Ashford E-spinner. Oh, E-spinner 3. Okay, I thought I had heard her say Ashford, but I wasn't certain. And it did not look familiar, which makes sense because I don't think I know anybody who has an Ashford E-spinner. Veggie said, why do I feel like the Grand Canyon is going to straighten up this year and get its stuff together? Mama Maid said, he also said 57 years ago at the start of 2020, which is not incorrect. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. And she also said, oh, I cast my next socks on vanilla toe up 2 at a time. I'm calling them soulless. The yarn is black and gray and black. I call the yarn Sold My Soul for yarn. I take it you dyed this. Is this from your experiments with the Lancet black? Veggie says, PSA of the day, don't get botulism, you'll die. Yeah, and if you don't die, you'll probably, some part of your body will be paralyzed for the rest of your life. It won't be fun. You won't enjoy it. Birdie Mom said, well, that's stupid. The ketchup recipe my friend has and cans she got from working at Heinz. Yay, Heinz! Heinz is from Pittsburgh. She was in their test kitchen, and every year they made this 1880 recipe and canned it to test against. Cool. That's very cool. And Baba Maid said, my sister-in-law dyed this when we had the kids dye some of their own. Oh, cool. Okay, we're going to take this bobbin off, and we're going to put this bobbin on. And this orange yarn, which is completely washed out on camera, is very bright and fluoresces under UV light. It's dyed with Dharma Fluorescent Safety Orange, I think is the name of it. And it's what I use mostly to knit pumpkin hats. I have a couple of oranges that I like. Although my other oranges are dyed with turquoise, which is fluorescent, and fluorescent yellow, so I'm sure they also fluoresce under UV light. Okay, so I gotta take the wrapper off of this thing. It's gonna probably explode. I think I'm gonna cut it. Baba Maid said, so it has toner black, true black, twilight gray, and platinum. Therefore, it's black with like micro stripes or darkish gray. It's cool looking. Cool. I can't wait to see. Veggie said, I'm spacing. Is there break time on Thursdays? If I remember, if I remember to do so, if we're going for halfway through, so 1.5 hours would be break time. So in about 25 minutes. Bama Maid said, I don't remember, but I don't think so. It's a short night. I know that. Well, it depends on if I remember and how badly I have to pee. Bama Maid, you guys are both good mods. Okay, there must be there's an end. Oh, there's both ends. Okay, so pick it. Ooh, it's a little bit vinegary, but not too bad. I'm not gonna... I wonder if I should... I think I'm gonna split it. Wonder if I should fractalize it. Wow, so far, this is splitting very nicely. Knock on pressed wood. And it feels very nice. Veggie says, pays attention to starting the wheel this time. Why? Okay, there's half. Now we will split again. Well, that's not a very even. So for a fractal spin, do the split into quarters, does it have to be, do they have to be even? Because they're not being even. Maybe that'll fix it. Or maybe not. Veggie says for educational purposes. We don't have porpoises in Pennsylvania that I'm aware of. I don't think Pennsylvania has any oceanfront. I think we're completely landlocked with only fresh water. Are there freshwater porpoises? Okay, ball number 2. Oh, wait. Okay. Yeah. Everybody starts from the... No! I wound that one the wrong way. Okay. Says, no, it doesn't have to be equal. I love fractals. They're fun. Okay. But I want to start at the same end for all the bits, right? Oh, wait, no, because I'm going to probably just spin all the singles onto one bobbin and then ply from the opposite ends. So, okay. Math on the fly. Or science, at least. Critical thinking? I don't know, something. Okay. You guys all get up there. Yeah, I just wound them into balls and have the outside being the end I want to start from. Okay, so Targhee, bamboo, viscose, and silk. We'll see what we think of this. I think it's going to be really nice. And you know what? I can't remember how to pronounce your name. Epwakte. And I can't remember if there was some shorter version we were using. Says that's what I do. Bama Maid said that's how I keep up with my ends to spin from. Oh, this is so different than that Dorset Polypay. Of course, the biggest difference being this is combed and that's carded. And this is not all full of noils. Bama Maid said it does not always work because I am scattered enough to forget which end it was immediately after breaking it off. Epwakte. Okay, so I was close. Whoops. I need a threading hook. I have not had one of my own in years, and this one was accidentally borrowed from somebody on the Sheep to Shawl team who I haven't seen since, the apocalypse happened. Yeah, this is yummy. So if you get a chance, if you have the opportunity, Mountain Colors. Mountain Colors Ink. 80% Targhee, 10% bamboo, and 10% silk. Is very nice. I'll be back for more. It was a little pricey. It was $24 for 4 ounces. But, it's got silk in it, so. Bama Maid said, well, I was going to make some stitch markers while I hung out tonight, but I seem to have misplaced the baubles I was going to use, or more probably, Tiny absconded with them. Bauman Maid said, I have 8 ounces of that blend to dye. And Ipoakte said, I love silk or bamboo blends. Me too. I think this is the first one. I was going to say this is the first one I've seen that was Targi, but that might be a lie. I might have some of this in my to be dyed box. I should dye some of it. And I like that there's both silk and bamboo because you get that, white, the undyed luster, but then you also get, how the silk makes the color so rich. So I like it. This is so pretty. Bama Mate said, I'm lurking while I read and listen to the wheel. Oh, I finished book 1 and have purchased 2, 3, 4, and 5. So apparently I got sucked in. And for better or worse, I want Trent to turn out to be a good guy. You know? Like, I want his alignment to be chaotic good or something like that. But I'm not holding my breath. He has already behaved very badly. Yep, I gotta read. But I have to take a little break because the next Wolf Shifter book is due to download itself onto my phone. Actually, probably already did. It was probably at midnight. So I'm going to read that. That shouldn't take long at all. And then I will dive into the next Hollows. Birding Mom said, sorry, I am no help on spoilers. I'm willing to wait. I'm just, expressing what I want to be the story, while being well aware that it might not be. Okay, let's take a quick break. Veggie says I can make stuff up for you. No, that's okay. I'll be patient. Let's take a 10-minute break because I am thinking that I'm not going to last the whole time without a potty break. So we'll just go get it out of the way. So, yeah. Although I am kind of curious what kind of stuff Veggie would make up. Let's take about 10 minutes, stand up and stretch, take a potty break, go to the kitchen, get a snack or something. Or hang out here and gossip. Baba Maid, will you still be here when I get back? Baba Maid said, this is a long story, so there are plenty of times where you'll both love and hate the characters. So normal. Yeah. Yep. You want to smack people upside the head. Yeah, and I'm curious about Nick too. What's his deal, and why does he know how to do? Bowen Maid says yes. I'm enjoying the quiet tonight. So alrighty. So I'll put that on and be back in 10 minutes or so. Oh, Obama Maid said, found the bubbles, so gonna make some Progress Keeper things. They were under a book. Fancy that. Bookworm Lover, hello. She says, I'm so late. What have I missed? Who all's in chat right now? Birding Mom says, hey, Bookworm. Someone else will have to give you details. We finished a white bobbin, and now we're doing a pretty colored one. We are. Bookworm says, I was watching Deadliest Catch with my mom. Oh, we did finish the pretty white. Nice. Yeah, I still have this much left, but the bobbin's full. And I wanted to spin this stuff. Bama Maid said pretty colored one is Targhee Bamboo Silk. It is 80% Targhee, Targhee wool, 10% bamboo, viscose, and 10% silk. And everybody's saying hello, hello, hello. Bookworm Lover said, nice. I recently found a bamboo yarn. The next yarn spree I'll buy. I look forward to seeing it work up. This is gorgeous. Purples and reds and fuchsias and whoops, getting it stuck on the hooks. And it is absolutely yummy. I have no idea what it's going to grow up to be. 2-ply, well, the yarn will be 2-ply. And somewhere between DK and fingering, I would imagine. Because that's my usual MO. Yeah, probably once I'm guessing that this is gonna bloom when it's been washed, and it will it'll be about a, what did I just say? About a worsted weight. Bookworm says, I make cheesecake tomorrow to satisfy my craving. That sounds wonderful. I haven't had good cheesecake in so long. Bookworm says, my other sweet tooth wants upside down pineapple cake. Just can't get enough of that stuff. Oh, I have a friend who years ago, years and years and years ago, we were roommates. During the time her first son was born. She would make a pineapple upside down cake she made the cake from scratch, and it was so good. I never cared about pineapple upside down cake until she made it, and I recently acquired the recipe, so I need to try that. To see how well spelt flour works for it. Birding Mom said, my mom used to make apricot upside down cake. To be fair, we had 2 producing apricot trees, and she made apricot everything. Yeah, I'm starting to get a little concerned at our fruit trees. Well, although this summer was only the 4th summer that they were in the ground, so I guess I could give them a little time yet. Why is my phone? Bookworm says apricot ham at the holidays. Just don't tell Bauman Maine. Or veggie, apparently. Bookworm says, shh, she's lurking. Bama Maid said, don't fruit the meat. She's here. Birding Mom said, no, we have Amy grandmother's Danish recipe for apples and bacon to put over the ham. Mama Maid said, I'm making pretty things but still listening. Bookworm Lover said, what, no pineapple or cherries on your ham? Yeah, we don't typically put anything. We have from time to time had a glaze on the ham, but usually don't. Mama Maid said, no sweets with the meats. But with ham, it depends on the cure. Some hams are already sort of sweet. Veggie said it's rare when I want ham. Yeah, pork of any kind is not on my list of things I can have. But every once in a while, I'll get a hankering for ham. Veggie said, I think it's a texture and sweet thing. Bauman Maid said, salt cure. I don't know how much I have to. Oh, I don't care how much I have to rinse it. Yeah, see, when we lived in the South when I was a kid, my mom hated the ham because she wasn't used to salty ham like that. Epoch said, I don't like ham, but pork always smells so good when my husband makes it. Bama Maid said, basically, I want all pork to be bacon. Well, you could probably cure it all that way. Epoch says, I don't like sweet things with meat either. I would say chicken though, because like I like General Tso's chicken and that sweet and sour. So I could do chicken sweet. Veggie says or pork chops. Bookworm said I don't go for ham myself very often. Meat in general, though bacon isn't in that food group, right? Bob and Mate said General Tso's chicken here is hot. Well, but it's a sweet hot. Bookworm Lover said I prefer turkey. Mesquite is my favorite. Well, see, and to be fair, chicken is also not on my list of things I'm supposed to eat. Turkey is, however. But to be honest, I get so tired of turkey. I'd like to mix it up once in a while. Veggie says, be right back. Bookworm says, deli meat wise. Oh, yeah. It actually, most of the places I've lived, is kind of hard to find chicken deli meat. Bookworm said, I don't care to get cheese from the deli though. My grandma lives 1 hour away from Tillamook, so when I have visited, I've been ruined for anything else cheese related. Their yogurt is to die for. It's it, Tillamook is really hard to find in this part of the country. I have had it, but I used to get really good cheese in Wisconsin too. What? Tillamook, yeah. Yep, Papa always talks about it, and we've had it. They're talking about it in my yeah. Yep, the stepdaughter is saying, "Oh yeah, Tillamook's good stuff." She lived out in Oregon for a little while, and she said, "And don't forget the ice cream." Yep, fresh cheese curd from the Katie Cheese Shop in Wilson, Wisconsin. If you ever happen to be in the Twin Cities, it's worth a short drive over to Wilson, Wisconsin. Assuming the Katie Cheese Shop is still there. Fresh cheese curd is so yummy. Birding Mom said anything fresh is better than something that's been packaged and transported. That's for sure. Bookworm Lover said at her local store it's 25 cents. Where I am, it's $3. Well, yeah, it's expensive to ship stuff or, transport stuff. Bookworm Lover said, never seen anything 25 cents. $100 maybe, but wow, so you betcha I get my fill when I visit her. Bookworm asks, how many bobbins do you have? How many have you filled? Um, I used to have 6 for this wheel. I currently can only find this one. But I have I'm supposed to have 3 for the road bug, but one of them is broken. But the road bug bobbins will fit this wheel, so that's how I managed to have 2 tonight. Tonight, I just have 1 bobbin filled plus this one because I just wind the yarn off and then ply it and then wind it into skeins or balls. So typically, a lot of times, all I have on a bobbin, well, I have another bobbin partway full on the road bug from the tail end of the last Tour de Fleece that I haven't finished spinning. So, does that answer your question? I've spun tons and tons and tons and tons the last couple of weeks, but usually it gets, yes, you missed some plying because I plied that. That's 8 ounces altogether. And applied this and wound it into a hank for ease of dyeing. And I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 balls that have been plied. So the white that I finished spinning started last night and finished tonight, and this and the bobbin that are on the road bug are the only things I need to ply right now, or that are remaining to be plied. Yeah, I think I've done two streams of just plying in the last week or two. I'm not sure how long it's been since you've been here, but since we've been doing the Tour de Fleece 2.0, it's been spinning and plying every night. And I guess tonight is my last night for Tour de Fleece 2.0, because if Tour de France ends on Sunday, it'll be over by the time I stream Sunday night, so perhaps I will knit. Unless I haven't finished this. I'll probably have finished this by then. Just, I won't finish it on stream probably. Although if I get this finished, I could ply on Sunday. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling on Sunday. Hey! Rhino Lion is raiding with a party of 8. Welcome, raiders. How are all of y'all tonight? Well, thank you for the follow. Thank you very much. And thank you for that shout out, Mom and Maid. Everybody, please feel free to check out Rhino Lion. So how was your stream and what were y'all up to tonight? Assuming you're not stuck in an ad. Yes, welcome radars. Radars. Words are hard. You do pottery, and tonight was sculpting a human figure. Very cool. I will have to go check it out. Actually, hang on, let me click on that shout out link. And ooh, look at that. Okay, and there's a follow for you. So I'll check you out. I like to watch potters stream. It's so zen most of the time. Like pottery ASMR. So tonight I'm spinning a blend of Targhee wool, rayon viscose, and silk. And it is absolutely divine. I have no idea what it's going to end up being made into, but it will be either knitted or woven into something. And everyone had gotten really quiet just before you got here. Rhino Lion said, I definitely go for the quiet, chill atmosphere. I figured if my friends like watching things spin, this will do it for them. Yeah, we're mostly pretty chill. Got a handful of smart asses. But, yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Veggie. A bookworm says this doorway and your blue yarn would be beautiful woven together. Mean this one? This one is a completely different texture, though. I think the colors would work very well together. But the one that's more blue is Cordale wool, and is not the softest thing I've ever spun in my life. Whereas this stuff is puffy clouds with unicorns dancing on them. Veggie says what I do. Yeah, the colors would work really well. Bama Maid says counts as a handful. But yeah, there are definitely things going round and round here. So sometimes we spin, sometimes we knit. Usually one or the other. I keep threatening to weave, but that hasn't worked out yet. Bama Mate said Cordale has never been the softest thing I've spun. The last batch of Cordale that I had got from Ashland Bay, I had bought 10 pounds, and it was very different from the Cordale I had from them previously, and it was Um, I mean, it wasn't like yummy soft like BFL or whatever, but it was very nice. And I still have part of a Cordale Cross fleece I got at Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival a few years ago that is very nice, and I would go as far as calling it soft. But I mean, not merino soft, but for Cordale, quite soft. Bookworm said, idea, you could dye the new white hanks the blue colorway and problem solved for the texture difference. Well, but yeah, but the white that I have to dye isn't also isn't the same wool. I do think that I have some of this, some undyed robing in this blend, and so that's a thought. But the plan sort of is that this is to spin this as a fractal. So I'll be plying it with itself and get a very cool barber pole sort of a blend. But now that I'm thinking about it, the company that dyed the blue stuff has a colorway that's quite similar to this, very purpley and fuchsia-ish. And I could do something with that. Like the Lion Brand Tweedy Twist yarn. Well, the blue actually is sort of a Tweedy Twist. I had a colorway that was sort of similar to this. And then I had 4 ounces of that, and then I had 4 ounces of some that was just dyed purple. And I plied them together. And they came out looking like that. And I'm very pleased with it. But it'll probably be knitted into kids' mittens and women's fingerless mitts and that sort of thing, because I need a lot of those sort of things because, the shopping season fourth quarter is coming up pretty quick here. Because, holy cow, Batman, it's the 18th of September already. And somebody's had their finger on the fast forward button just lately. She says those would make very pretty mittens, both colored. Yeah. Rhino Lion said 2020 is the fastest 6 years of my life. And Veggie says feels like May. Bama Maid said coming up in 62 years into 2020. Yeah, it has been. The temporal mechanics this year has been, like I said, I think somebody's playing with the fast forward and slow motion buttons. Veggie said, May's been the longest month ever. May was really long. I didn't sleep well. Didn't sleep well at all in May. or April or the end of March. You know, those couple of months that we were all at home. And then as soon as I went back to work, I could sleep again. Imagine that. I think it was just the stress of it. You know, it's like the stress of not knowing what was going to happen. Baba Maid said, "This is what it feels like to use the improbability drive." Well, that makes sense. So Rhino Lion, how do you vend your wares? Do you do galleries or online sales, or do you do shows? And so how has this year impacted your ability to make a living? I think somebody's burning cookies in my kitchen. I'm not going to say it loud enough for her to hear. Rhino Lion said, I just have stacks of stuff slowly taking over my workshop. Yeah, Iron Leaf Potter was kind of saying the same thing tonight. She's like, I need more shelves. I am fortunate to have a couple of local venues where I always have my stuff. So, and while business is weird, sales are okay. But I know my friends who depend on shows for their living are very worried. Says, I list on Etsy, but I'm relatively new to selling my work, so the shutdowns haven't really affected me much. And they've given you lots and lots and lots of time to accumulate work on shelves. Rhino Lion said, yeah, I'm about to transition to an 80% recycle philosophy. I like throwing pottery, but I don't need to keep every piece. Like catch and release when you're fishing. Throw a pot, throw it back in the bucket. Throw a pot, throw it back in the bucket. Bookworm said, I know a lot of content creators on YouTube had banded together to do an online convention. Yeah, and people are doing online shows. And some of the big art festivals and fiber festivals and things have done, like online festivals. But it's not the same. It does help bring in some sales. And like I've been talking about, my little town has had to cancel its we have this huge German Christmas market. It brings, over the course of a weekend, brings like 5,000 people into my little bitty town of like 800. And it's basically Black Friday for the small businesses in this town. Plus it's really good for all the vendors and but there's no way they can do it this year. So to try to make up a little bit for it, they've decided to do Saturday vendor markets. So From every Saturday from last Saturday until November 14th, there will be vendors set up in town from like 10 to 5. And there are masks all over the place saying, or signs all over the place saying masks are required, all this kind of stuff. But people aren't in it. As if last Saturday was any indication, people aren't adhering to it, not respecting it. But it makes me nervous. You know, I mean, we had 4 or 5. I work at a small gallery that features local artists, and we had a bunch of vendors set up in our parking lot, and so there were tons and tons of foot traffic, and sales were a little better than a typical Saturday, but for us, I don't know that it's going to bring in enough business to make a difference. So we'll see how it goes as the season wears on. Yeah, Birding Mom says, well, especially if you have brawls in your gallery over masks. Yes. Yeah, we very nearly had a brawl last Saturday. Bookworm says, what kind of cookies is the kitchen monster making? She had some chocolate chip dough in the fridge, so I'm guessing that's what she was doing. She's making a pizza for herself and Papa. Frozen pizza. So I'm guessing some cookie dough got stuck in there too. Because, you know, the oven's hot, might as well. But geez, you know, the season's going by so fast, it's going to be time to bake Christmas cookies before too long. Ryan Lyon says, might as well, and then says, I need to go clean up and put my family to bed. Nice to meet you. Happy spinning. Well, thank you so much for the raid and the follow, and I'll be looking for you. If I happen to see you, I will come and watch, and if I'm looking for something to do, I'll check out your VODs. So like I said, I really, really enjoy watching pottery streams. So thank you for coming in and introducing yourself and bringing all those lovely people. And have a good night and sleep well and get good rest and stay as healthy as possible. Yeah, see you around here or there. I could smell it from in there. Did you make cookies too? Yeah. Oh, bummer. That's good. Yeah, she said the first batch of cookies, she was trying something different and it didn't work. But the second batch came out just fine, so she's happy. Bookworm said, last question before I go. Did you, this roving? I bought this roving at my local yarn shop. It is from a place called Mountain Colors Incorporated, and there is no website or anything on but this is what the label looks like. And I think apparently they make yarn. I don't pay that much attention to the yarn at the yarn shop because, I'm usually just, except for the sock yarn, I'm usually looking for things to spin. Or spending way too much money on expensive knitting needles. But she said she had called them and was ordering yarn, and they asked her if she was interested in trying any of their new dyed roving. And she was like, yes. And when they said that it was Targhee bamboo and silk, she was like, yes, please. And they're asking, well, how much would you like of which colors and how much would you? And she's like, send it all. And they were like, seriously? And she's like, yes, I love Targhee. But she spins as well. But she also knows that all of her crazy spinners will buy all of it. And I know it had come in earlier in the week, and I was surprised there was any left. Because, I know all the crazy spinners, and I know how they are. But she said she's been having people asking about locally dyed stuff again lately, and so I need to get my ass in gear and dye some roving for her. I have 3 pounds of Polworth with her name on it. Veggie said, I wish my LYS carried more spinning fiber. Yeah, a lot of yarn shops don't carry any at all. I've been so disappointed at how many. It's like I'll be somewhere and be like this great little yarn shop and go in and they have no spinning fiber at all, or they maybe have 3 braids of dyed roving or something. Bookworm says, cool, alrighty then. Good night. See you tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow and Saturday, I am typically off. Although if they would have talked about it already. I was going to say, if Dork was going to do another Saturday raid train for the end of the Tour de Fleece, I would have done that, but I haven't heard anything, so I'm guessing that's not happening. So I'll be back Sunday night. Sunday night, 11 p.m. Eastern Time in the U.S. And I have no idea what we'll be doing, but something to do with fiber. Bauman Maid said, mine carries very little and only a couple braids is ever hand dyed. Yeah, my yarn shop carries just a ton of spinning. She's got, she has a loft up above her space, and the loft is all spinning stuff. Spindles and wheels, and although the only wheels that she carries are the shacked wheels. Well, no, that's not true. She also has Merlin Tree, road bugs and hitchhikers. Birdie Mom says, yes, Friday and Saturday is the Snoring Cat Desert. 'Cause, need a couple of days off. Bama Maid said, or Indie Dyed, rather. Veggie said, I was surprised they had some. It's an alpaca blend, but it's white. Birdie Mom said, we have withdrawals. You guys could just come over to my house. be a little bit of a commute for most of you. Veggie said, Liz withdrawals. Huh. You know, we should have a slumber party. We couldn't have a slumber party at my house though, but I bet you we could find like an Airbnb or something. Wouldn't that be fun? An Airbnb with big enough for all of us? I really think that we should have a get together at some point. You know, once the contagion is less of a risk. And then while you're all here, maybe we can find a wedding to crash for the cookie table for Burning Mom. Burning Mom said, when the grunge is gone, I will organize a bird and cat retreat. That sounds awesome. I should probably start saving up my pennies now. She says, okay, so June then. Veggie says, zombie's gonna crash it. Yeah, maybe we can find a wedding to crash. Or we could just make our own cookie table at our retreat. What just happened? Ember like F yeah. Thank you for the follow. It's like out of the corner of my eye, I'll see the explosion on the screen and I'll be like, what? What was that? You hear from Rhino Stream. Well, thank you for the follow. Veggie's handing out the Kool-Aid. Yeah, see these mods. I think Bauman has been known to pass out Kool-Aid too. We used to make spiked Kool-Aid punch back in high school. The drinking age was much lower, but I still wasn't legal at 16. But like the punch everybody had for like, you know, baby showers and whatever was like back in the 70s, you'd get these big cans of pre-sweetened Kool-Aid that had the sugar mixed in it already. And you'd mix that with like Sprite, and that'd be your punch. And then you put a container of whatever flavor of sherbet that you wanted in there. And my friends would always dump a bunch of vodka in it. Ember says, my pleasure. Glad to be here. This is so relaxing and your voice is lovely. Well, thank you. Thank you. People keep saying that. I'm gonna start to believe it. And says I will take cherry Kool-Aid, and laced is fine as long as it's gin. I don't think I've ever had gin and Kool-Aid. Mostly just vodka, I think. Yeah, Veggie likes you. Veggie said, yeah, it's usually me making the cult references. That's okay. We're a friendly cult. He blames Veg Man. Ember says, yeah, my mom made that a lot, lol. Easter baby showers, etc. She'd usually make 2 bowls, one with white wine and one without. Yeah, you'd go to some big family event and there'd be the 2 punch bowls. One would say adults, one would say kids. Burning Mom said we used to play Twister with matching colored Jello shots on the circles. Most were spiked. You know what? I've never had a Jello shot in my whole life. I'm not exactly sure how I managed to miss that. I think they sort of happened. There was a period of my life where I didn't drink at all. And I think that was sort of when Jello shots were happening. Ember said, I like friendly cults. That sounds like fun. Oh my God. I can't imagine playing Twister now. I climbed inside a loom this afternoon. And after sitting in there a couple of hours, bent over, all crooked, threading things, I almost couldn't get out. I thought I was going to have to text somebody to come and save me. Amber said, I love Jello shots. I've made Jello shots for myself multiple times, just without the cups. Just a big bowl of spiked Jello. It's fun. Birding Mom said, okay, so June for the retreat and Jello shots. What else? Cookie table. And all of the fluff, all the spinning and knitting, because, I don't imagine that we could hang out together and not work on our projects. Veggie said pink lady drinks. Never the pink lady. But while most of us will probably be knitting, spinning, etc., people who don't partake in fiber stuff are still welcome to participate. We might shove you down the rabbit hole, but you're more than welcome. Ember said, champagne is a necessity in my opinion. Mimosas or otherwise. I'm a huge fan of watermelon mimosas. Words are getting hard. Watermelon mimosas, which would be perfect for June. I don't think I've ever had a mimosa either. Birding Mom said, that's June so I can crash that random wedding for the cookie table. Well, honey, we'll just make our own cookie table. I'll bring a fancy dress so I look more like a guest. Yeah, I'm experienced with cookie tables, so, we could just make our own. Ember says it's usually just champagne and orange juice, but I prefer other juices. Oh. Veggie says, so at least one fancy dress, right? Birdie Mom said, oh my God, June and a private bartender for the retreat. Bama Mate said, just tell everyone in the invite to bring one batch of their favorite 3 cookies. Ember says, can I bake other desserts? I will make so many baked goods. Okay, now y'all keep in mind that you're going to be torturing me because I can't have anything with wheat in it. So I will bake mine with spelt. But I'll just be looking at and sniffing all the rest of y'all stuff. Bama Mate said, but I might be off in my assumption that a cookie table is like a cookie swap. Well, a cookie table at a wedding is part of the reception. And all of the ladies affiliated, aunts and cousins and whatever, affiliated with the bride, bring homemade cookies. And so then there's this huge table all decked out with all these cookies. And then there are little carry-out box kind of things that the guests can take a little box with, half a dozen cookies or whatever they can fit in their box to take home. So that's what a cookie table is. And if you Google Pennsylvania wedding cookie table, you'll find all kinds of information. And probably even like lists of recipes. Birdie Mom said, LOL, you are no fun. The danger of getting caught and doing something illicit is not there if we do the cookie table. Ember says, I will make gluten-free things. Hey, Fido. Fido says, I can just bring my BF. He enjoys mixing drinks. Also, I only make peanut butter cookies. I have a peanut butter cookie recipe that doesn't actually have any flour in it. And you would never know. Bama Mate said, what is the conversion for wheat flour to spelt? It's spelt absorbs more liquid than wheat flour. But I usually since it's hard to find recipes that are for spelt, I usually just just add a little more and a little more and a little more until the texture is the way it looks like it should be. Does that make sense? You're going to need a little more spelt flour than you would wheat flour. But I don't know if there's an actual... I will have to search and see if I can find out if there's an actual conversion. Birdie Mom said, although at my age, most people will think I'm someone's old weird aunt. yeah, you and me both. Bama Maid said, why did I not know about this cookie table for my wedding? That would have been awesome. As far as I know, it only exists in Pennsylvania. I had never heard of it because I was like, what? Ember said, that's an awesome tradition. I've never heard of that. Bama Maid said, stitch markers are up in Discord. Okay, gonna go look. Fido said, I'm interested. So now, Burning Mom's talking about June, but that's going to be completely dependent on what the coronavirus is doing at that point. Look at that. Oh, look at them. Very pretty. Oh, and look at the little pearl. I love pearls. Very pretty. Now, do you sell these? Veggie said 3 ingredient peanut butter cookies, peanut butter, egg, sugar. I think mine has vanilla in it. Peanut butter, egg, sugar, and vanilla. And it might have a pinch of salt, but maybe not. It might be depending on the peanut butter for the salt. Bum Maid said, I can handle tweaking. Do you bake at the same time? Yep, I do. She says, I make them for the hell of it. And my stitch markers walk off. So do mine. I used to have this Altoid tin just stuffed full of stitch markers. And now it's got only a small handful. And the ones that I don't like as well, of course, are the ones that I have. Because all the ones that I like and use get left places or, you know, stuck in this box or in that box, never to be seen again. Mama Maid said, but when I did craft booths, it was jewelry. It hurts a little bit to be working with Walmart. Had eye pins, not going to lie at all. Birding Mom asked, okay, we're in Discord. And Mama Maid said, in knitting. It's right underneath your post about the zebra yarn. Couldn't you, instead of using the Walmart ones, can't you order small quantities like from Rio Grande or any of those places? Rio Grande, huh? They're probably in Texas, aren't they? You can probably drive over and knock on the door. Birding Mom said, okay, I looked there, so I will go beat up Discord. And Mama Maid said, some of these might be going with the Advent swap. Oh, very cool. Oh, geez. It's almost time. I didn't even get a quarter of the way through this. Okay, so if this is not finished by the time I stream on Sunday, maybe we'll work on it some more. We'll see how the weekend goes and whether work kicks my ass or not. Okay, one more handful of fluff. Bob and Maid said, I would go through TRL for steel pins. We'll probably go that route for decent lobster class because I'm low on all the findings. What's TRL? That's not ringing a bell. Oh, the Ring Lord. Okay. I know what the Ring Lord is. Burning Mom said, okay, I'm heading to bed. Have a good weekend, everyone. See you Sunday. We'll see you, Burning Mom. Have a good weekend. Try not to breathe too much of that foul air out there. Take care of yourself. Okay, so my computer says it's 2 o'clock, and on Thursday night, that's time for me to head off. Is anyone interested in a raid. Let me see who's on. I often don't do a raid because I need to be. Oh geez, my picture quality is really bad. It looks fine on Streamlabs. Look, maybe if I refresh my Twitch page. Oh, that's better. Okay. Because I have to work in the morning, so I cannot stay and hang out. But Donut King is on. Wow, Grandma 78. Chickens and ducks are sleeping. Roosters are sleeping. Camilla Scarlet is doing something. It says Chrono Trigger beta test patterns. Quirks and Smirks. It says spoopy time. I don't know what that means. And that's unless somebody else has a suggestion. Birding Mom says we get rain tomorrow. I get to go for a walk. All right. Night, Birding Mom. Ember says it's been lovely. It's been lovely hanging out with you as well. Welcome to the family. Bomba Mate said, don't get me wrong on the Walmart comment. That's where the skulls and charms came from. Well, but you know, we all know that very often companies manufacture things of somewhat lower quality for Walmart because Walmart wants the best price they can get, which often means that companies have to produce lower quality. She says, but the pins they have break when being worked, and the stuff they're plated with chips and cracks. Have you tried any better luck with Joann's or Michael's? Fido says Camilla is cross-stitching. I haven't rated Camilla in a while. We could do that if people want to. Ember says, I'll see you again soon, I'm sure. I hope so. Because, you know, now we're expecting you to come to our rendezvous or whatever we're going to call it. Veggie's going to head off into Bookland. Bomba Maid said, in my shell is cross-stitching a dumpster fire. Night, Veggie. Yeah, we'll see you Sunday unless I see you other places. Those are roughly the same quality as Walmart. Okay. Yeah, I haven't done any jewelry kind of stuff in years and years and years. So I don't even know what's out there for the average person. So, okay. Well, I don't really hear any of. Is anybody screaming for a raid, or should we just mosey on off in all our own directions? Fido, were you just commenting about what Camilla's doing, or are you casting a vote for Camilla? Bomba Maid said she'll hang through a raid if we're raiding, but not much past that. Okay. Fido was just coming. Okay, so nobody's chomping at the bit for a raid then. So I say let's just wander off in our separate directions, and then I can wind myself down and hopefully get to sleep pretty soon here. Because it's going to be a long weekend. You know, what with the maskers and the anti-maskers brawling in the middle of the gallery. Hopefully, my weekend will be uneventful, and I will have no strange stories to tell y'all. But yeah. So, and Boa Mate says, have a good night. Yep, all of y'all have a good night. Have a good weekend. I may see people around. if I have the chance at work, I can hang out. If I'm not busy at work, I can hang out in streams. Often just lurking. I don't always get to really have time to chat. But so I may see some of you around. If not, I'll see you Sunday night if you come by. And excuse me. So sleep well if you're in a place where it's nighttime and you're heading to bed. Or have a great day if you're in a place where your day is just starting. But when you do sleep, sleep well, get good rest, stay well, stay safe. I love you guys. You make my world a little better, sometimes a lot better, depending on what kind of day it's been. And I'll talk to ya all. I'll be back Sunday night Eastern, 11 p.m. or thereabout Eastern time in the U.S. Okay, see you soon.